So I'm absolutely cacking myself doing this video because I hate the sound of my voice, and my hair is from yesterday. It's not been brushed. I didn't take it out overnight. Um, but that's part and parcel to why I'm doing this video. I have a lifelong condition called dysautonomia. I've got it on my t-shirt. And it can affect people in lots of different ways, but it means that my autonomic nervous system doesn't entirely work how it should. For me, the main things are a condition called within that are something called POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, vasovagal syncope, which is low blood pressure, drops, plummets, you faint, along with IBS, difficulty controlling my body temperature, everything that your autonomic nervous system does is things that you can't control. So, bladder, urine output, kidneys, temperature, heart rate, breathing, all that sort of stuff is a little bit skewy for me. But the main thing that causes is chronic fatigue. It's exhausting. I've got a constantly high heart rate, and anytime I stand up, it gets higher. That for me means that probably at least 3 days a week I am in bed, as I am now. I often can't make it down the garden to feed my chickens or my ducks. I can't walk my dog. I can't shower. Showering's really difficult. Having to stand, put arms above your head, makes your blood pressure drop lower. Waiting is worse. It's just standing or sitting in any way that isn't reclined. So I sleep 12 hours at night with a 2 hour nap. But the rest of the day I have to be reclined in bed so that my heart's not having to do too much work. However, on the good days, I run, and it's hard to get very far with that because I can only run maybe once a week. And I'd love to do more, but my fatigue levels mean I can't. However, I have signed up for the virtual London Marathon. I'm hoping to do it at midnight, backwards, not backwards, running backwards, but following the London Marathon route, starting at the finish line, and for me, finishing at the start line. There's a group of people that do this. It will be absolutely mad. Um, I might not get there. I might be not be well enough leading up to it. I might wake up, I say in the morning. It won't be the morning. I'll sleep most of the day and I'll wake up at 11. And my body might just be saying, no, you can't do this, which happens. But I am hoping to run it and to raise money for an organisation called Devon Mind. As you can probably imagine, this physical condition has led to horrendous mental health for me. I got ill when I was about 23. I graduated from university and got a job in a psychiatric unit with adolescents, and I loved it. I loved the work I did, and I like to think I'd still be there if I could. But I developed pancreatitis, and that kick-started all of this for me. My mental health deteriorated. I had several suicide attempts, and I ended up having to stay in a psychiatric unit myself. Not many people know that, but I think it's really important to be vulnerable and show people vulnerability, because for me it has helped hearing other people's story. Throughout my entire 20s, well, I wish my 20s didn't exist, to be honest, but I tried everything. I tried so many different types of therapy, counselling, CBT, DBT, and none of it worked. In fact, a lot of it was made worse. And then as I was approaching my 30s, I had a real deadline that I was not going to live past my 30s. I thought, I've had enough of this. I can't cope with not just my physical condition, but the stigma around it. I don't work. I'm not reliable enough to work. I get ill too much. And obviously, society, we are getting a lot better at recognising invisible disabilities, but we are not anywhere near recognising variable disabilities. So if you saw me on a day when I'm running, you would fairly judge me and you'd think, well, she can run that, why can't she work? If she can run that, why can't she help out in the house? Um, and that is because I'm running that. What you didn't see is that it took me till 2 o'clock. I had to stay in bed until 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I then felt I could be upright, I could stand. Um, and that's how I choose to spend my energy. And running has been an outlet for my mental health for the last few years. Um, but there's a lot of judgment around that. I see news articles all the time about somebody on benefits who's been caught out because they've been seen doing something and they shouldn't be doing that because they're disabled. So if they're disabled, well, how can they be doing that? Um, we are allowed to live, and those of us with variable disabilities, we don't always know when our good days are going to be and when our bad days are going to be. So I make the most of my good days when they happen. And I couldn't look after myself living by myself. I couldn't wash my hair properly. I couldn't go shopping enough to sustain. I can't cook. Um, so I had to move back with my parents, and I'm really fortunate that my parents do all that sort of stuff so that I can spend my energy doing the things that help me both physically and mentally. I've gone on now, but the point is, I'm running for Devon Mind because this last year I have been receiving, I don't know what you call it, treatment or therapy, I don't know, talking therapy with them through recovery wellness practitioner. Um, and it's changed my life. It's been transformative. I had this lovely lady called Sarah, and if she hears this, and shout out to you, Sarah, because you have been one of dozens and dozens of things I've tried, but you've actually worked. And to be able to say that I do not feel guilty now for doing something that I love, like running. Um, but previously, I would have massive feelings of guilt, thinking, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Because I could be doing that. I could be helping with this or with that, or trying to hold down a job. Um, but those that know me closely, my family, my parents, um, would know just how damn unreliable I am. If you ever try to meet up with me, chances are I've bailed because I wake up that day, I might be feeling great, I might get ready, have breakfast, and then it hits me, and then I can't. Um, so the feelings of shame, of guilt, of embarrassment, I've never felt worth living this life. I felt a burden on society because I am taking resources from people. Um, but Sarah and Devon Mind has changed that, and I feel proud to be able to run, and I feel honoured that my body lets me when it lets me. Um, and so if I can raise any money towards them, um, that would be amazing because it's the NHS, waiting lists are huge. I had to wait an extremely long time to get onto that pathway, um, and it would have changed my life if I could have done this sooner. So, please consider donating or sharing, even if it's like £2, just donate it, and that could be the difference to somebody. Um, I'm not cured. I'm not fixed. I still have mental health problems. There will still be times where I will feel extreme emotions. Um, but I feel like I've been given the tools to cope better. Um, and for me, just accepting myself has been life changing for me. Um, oh goodness, it's been 10 minutes. I will try and do a reduced video. So I just want to say, if you can, basically, long story short, please donate.